You're in World War II, it's a co-op game up to 5 people playing.
It's Warfighter.
Let's do it!
All right, so today we're going to review Warfighter. At the end of this review, we're going to give it a buy it, play it, hate it review. So stick around for that. And if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, click that button right there, subscribe to our channel. We do new videos every single Thursday. So Rod, tell us about the components to Warfighter.
Okay, so Warfighter comes out with a pretty large board, as you can see. With the board itself, when you're playing the game, you're going to be going down locations. So each one of these is going to be a location. So you can see that you're going to be traveling this way. You have the mission timer up here. You have a bunch of cards that represent your characters, which are of course the Americans. Their weapons that they have. You have tokens for some of the weapons also. So in other words, if this guy has the M3 SMG, this guy could also have an M3 SMG, and you would just throw one of these tokens on that represent that. You have cards for who you're fighting. Mm-hmm. You have cards for the missions,
location.
They use a lot of actual pictures, and then they have a lot that are obviously shot for the game, but they're very well done. I mean, it does, in my opinion, it does a very, very good job of the World War II. I love World War II stuff, so the actual real pictures being in there, along with some that they made up, like all the guys that you're going to be.
They have awesome names.
Yeah, that Delay, Pachenko, Scanlon, they have like a Wazinski, so some Polish guy, and I'm Polak, so I can get away with that one. And you can do these other guys that are in there. It's just awesome, and they all have their abilities, what they can do and not do, and then you can specialize them by getting them weapons and so on. Because at the beginning of the game, you start off with points, and that's the amount of points that you're able to use for weapons in your men.
All right, so let's talk about rules to this game. How hard or easy is it to learn Warfighter?
Well, I think like any World War II game, it always seems kind of daunting, from the beginning. And this one is just like any other World War II game. The instruction manual makes it look pretty daunting. So I myself am one of those people that learns by playing. So I like to just jump right in there, start playing, and then look for the answers as we play. So this does a good job of playthroughs on it. So in my opinion, the instructions are very, very good. Yeah,
and once you understand the combat, when you're going to be rolling dice to see if you hit people, get past their cover, that might be the most complicated part. But once you understand that, you're going. Okay, so let's give you kind of a high-level overview of the game so that you can figure out if this is something that's going to work for you and your gaming group. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to give characters, like Rod said, and then you're going to attach weapons to them. You're going to be spending points, basically, at the beginning to figure out what you want to give your guys, because they're going to be going into this mission that's set up for you. And so once you spend all of your points by giving out ammo, maybe grenades, maybe a special kind of rifle, different things like that, once all your points are spent, then you go. Then you're going to basically move from here down to there, and you're going to be trying to get somewhere. And so then there's going to be a mission at the end. So you're going to have to do something when you get there. And so as you go, just like across a map, you're going to be moving your guys, and then you're going to be moving into a location. So you're going to be drawing these location cards that tell you something. And then you're going to say, oh, okay, we are in a field of crops, right? And then there might be a cost to move into that area. So you got all your guys out here, and then they have an amount of that they can move into. And if that location is more than that, then you're going to have to consider that. And so once you move into that area, then you're going to have all of these guys that you're going to be able to fire upon. So you draw the hostiles, right? And so the hostiles come out, and they could be like gunners, machine guns, just could be troops out in the front. And then there's some guys that provide cover for other guys.
Right. So you place them. So when you're placing the cards out on here, you'll place the ones that are covered in the back, the ones that are covering for them in the front. So that way you have to kill these guys off first.
Right. Get rid of these guys, and then you go on. And so each one of these guys have a number on them when you're trying to kill them. So there's a cover amount that you have to beat, and then there's their actual hit points, or like to hit them.
Right, to kill them.
And so you have to roll to beat their cover, and then you have to roll to hit them. Right. And if you do that, then you're going to kill people. And so as you kill people, then you're going to drop this token on there. And so that says that we've got an enemy killed in action, and then we need to kill a few more. And then once you kill a few more, then this card is removed, and now you move on to the next guy. And if you don't kill them or you don't suppress them, so if you don't beat their cover, they become suppressed, which means that they're not going to be able to fire back on you. And then, but if they're not suppressed, then they're going to fire back on you, and
Right.
then you're going to take damage. And if you get shot, so many times, then that guy's down.
And then then you have med kits and things like that each of the characters could be carrying that'll help revive those characters, help them out. If you knock out the character, if you knocked out the bad guys, or you don't knock them out, say you finish your turn, they finish their turn, then we have to look for reinforcements. And the card will tell you if reinforcements can come on that, and then they'll bring reinforcements. And then if not, then we go through it again, or we move to another location. And it just go on and on. There's crops, and there's open roads, and there's crossroads, and there's all these different things that have different things that happen when you're there.
Woods, ruins, the warehouses, all that stuff.
And it's pretty neat because you have an objective. Like on the last one we played, you had to blow up a supply dump. And so you'd have to make it, when you get to your location, which was on 10 at the time, you had to go through all this, and it really did feel like you're traveling through a map, just step by step by step. And then when we finally get to 10, you had to make sure, first of all, that you had enough guys that are alive, and that you could that you brought ammunition with you or explosives with you to blow up the ammo dump, which was pretty fun.
And that's it. So you're just moving location to location, encountering these enemies, trying to get rid of them. You can have snipers that stay back, and so they don't have to be on the location to kill them. They could be a few back, and that actually helps their accuracy.
Right.
And like you said, medics. And one thing that we didn't talk about are these action deck cards.
Right.
And so each person is going to get these cards that modify the game in some way. So this might say like infiltrate, location markers, combined fire, you're cautious. There's all different kinds of things. And these could be before you roll a die. It could be after you roll a die. It could be to help somebody move for free. It could give somebody a bonus, all different kinds of things.
And it's pretty neat because, like, for instance, this one is you or any soldier may perform an attack without spending an action. So basically, it's called snapshot. So basically, you'll get an extra shot that round. And there's all these different cards that do different things. From when you're getting the location, the one thing I don't know if we covered well enough of the locations. What happens is you get what's called a location marker. That's what you pull up for the card. You turn that in for location, and then from there you can decide which one's going to go in front of you. So you can kind of, like, you're reading a map and saying, well, maybe I should take the road instead of going through the factory. That type of stuff. So you can kind of avoid the stuff, and you can discard cards. You get more cards, so your deck's always changing. Each character has a different amount that his hand can hold. You get experience, which was really neat because the character, like the sniper guy, he's back there plugging away, and he'll just start building up all this experience. You can spend that experience on different things. So it's a pretty neat little system here.
Yeah, the cards definitely add the flavor, and this is one of those things where you're like, but wait,
Exactly.
Or you're looking around, since it's co-op, you're thinking, what do you have? And then you're like, why didn't you play that card? And you're like, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't know I had that card. That kind of thing is happening a lot during the game.
And with you holding the cards that way, like you have the deck, it prevents that alpha gamer from taking over too. Which is also really nice when Tim tries to do that type of stuff. That keeps him away from there, so we can play. So everyone's involved in the game. Everyone's given their abilities and what they can do.
Okay, so at the end of our reviews, we like to do a simple 1-die rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? Green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you definitely play it. And then red means you wouldn't buy it and you wouldn't play it because you hate it. And
Just don't know.
I'm not looking.
All right.
And reveal.
All right.
That's a white.
Okay, so why is it a white to you?
Okay, if I'm really honest, this would have been, this is borderline white-red. And but I'll premise that with the idea that I'm not really, this theme does not really like say, oh man, I got to play that game, But I gave it a white because out of the war games that I have played, especially the miniatures games that will never end. And but anyways, for that reason, I would say if you say, hey, you want to play Flames of War, you want to play this one, and I had to choose, dude, I'm playing Warfighter all day. But the redeeming qualities of this game for me, and don't take that as a knock against this game, because I actually do think all of the stuff in this game is solid, right? It's just this rating comes to my opinion, and if you follow what we do on this channel, I'm trying to give you an opinion based on whether I would play this game,
Sure.
buy it. And so, but the redeeming qualities is exactly what we said. The cards and the abilities to augment what happens is awesome. The asymmetrical player abilities that I can do something that maybe you can't, so you lean on me, co-op. I mean, those are good. Those are good things about it.
Yeah, well, it's World War II, and I do enjoy World War II games. So I love World War II games. I like a lot of things about this. There's very few things that I didn't like about it. I like the fact that it's very expandable, so I can see this going a million different decks coming out for the game, where you're having different weapons that you're meeting up against and stuff. So that's pretty neat. I liked how it was a co-op game, which there just isn't enough games that are co-op, and there's just not enough World War II games that are co-op. So
Yeah, it's usually like us versus them,
Exactly.
almost always.
So that was really neat. I think, like I said, the artwork and all that stuff is really well done. I like how it goes step by step, like you really are traveling down a map.
That is cool.
I liked all those aspects. It did feel like you're kind of on an adventure. Man, this system, I can see it working with this very well the way it did. I can see it working with a fantasy type game. I can see it working. This is a very neat system. I can see where they could put this over in a different type of world. They would do very well also. I think that this is a high quality game, and I wish I would have bought it at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know a guy that's got it.
Exactly. So.
All right, that's it. That's our review of Warfighter. Make sure you check us out at BoardGameCloset.com. We got a lot more videos there. And if you hadn't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting on?
Do it now.
And as always,
support your local hobby shop. Woo! Thank you.